Tuesday. Good Tuesday. I had to double check just to make sure it wasn't past midnight. I just kind of lost track of time tonight. Was into some other things. I was listening to some other casts. Peace to the brothers from BTP. Another great cast of teachings tonight. Them brothers be teaching, and some people just don't understand. Just because they don't bring it the way you're normally used to being taught, they teach it. Y'all need to be a part of that teaching. But don't try to be an antagonist to it, because these brothers are deep. They know they shit. But for some reason, people try to challenge them on the data. And I don't get that. And that's part of the title tonight. That's part of the title. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with data. The title don't have nothing to do with data. But the title of the clip is, are you sitting or are you standing? And you know I don't really give a fuck what your physical position is, because I can't control that. I'm not a part of that. I'm not in your space right now. So where you are sitting or standing, I couldn't give less than a fuck about. Are you sitting or are you standing in this political process as a freedman, as a Black American? Let's just not throw it all into reparations. Let's say as a Black American or an African American or a Negro or a colored, whatever you identify as, because some of y'all colored. Some of y'all colored. Some of y'all aren't Negroes. Some of y'all aren't African Americans. Some of y'all definitely are not freed men. Some of y'all are colored. Oh yeah. And you're members of the NAAPOC. It's not NAACP anymore. It's NAAPOC. They don't care about colored people. They care about people of color. Yeah. Yeah. That's who they care about. I mean, you got to think about it. The NAACP stepped up for DACA. They stepped up to stop Asian hate. But where the fuck are they at on this shit right now? The ignorance of Black people has gotten to such a height, and I ain't seen one colored person say shit. I mean, you contemplating on giving $450,000 a man to some motherfuckers who are illegally on this soil. Bitch, let's get it. I am not here to agree or disagree with anybody about where we should be in this process. Because I said if we don't get on code with one another, if we don't unify, we'll never get anywhere. That's the only way everybody else is advancing past this. Because when them motherfuckers get some shit, you don't have any antagonists. You ain't seen no Spanish speaking motherfuckers say, no. Nobody should get $450,000 for illegally coming here. No. This shouldn't happen. They church mouse quiet right now. They waiting to see if he gonna stroke that motherfucker. But Black people, you got Black people all up and down the coast, north, south, Midwest, that say Black people don't deserve reparations. But you ain't heard a Spanish-speaking person say shit adverse to them getting $450 a man. When the Asians and the Pacific Islanders got $50 million, did you see any Asians and Pacific Islanders out there saying, we don't deserve this shit? Nah, take this back. Take this back. We don't need this. Just give us some statues. Give us some bronze busts. Have a parade for us. Name some streets after us. You didn't see none of them saying, nah, give me some symbolism shit. Don't give us no money and no policy and no legislation. Just give us some symbolism shit. Did you see any of them say that? No, but that's what Negroes do. Negroes will take a statue, a parade, and a cold fish sandwich over policy and legislation any day. You dancing ass black Dems. Chucks and pearls. Chucks and pearls. Yeah. My chat room ain't moving right. Prime Legend, what's going on with you, brother? You've got a situation right now that if we don't figure this out by 22 and put a real pact together, and we've got a year, because today is election day too. A lot of people's cities and states is election day, right? I don't even want to talk about the election in Detroit today. I know there was some little shit we had here in Washington County, but what was supposed to be the big election in Detroit, the election was for mayor, and you never heard shit about it. You never heard shit about it. Not that anybody was going to pose any threat to the incumbent. Mike Duggan has done a job for 8 years. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's of the eye of the beholder. I think he's a crook. I thought he was a crook when he got in. I think he's a crook now. I think he's enriching himself off of the city of Detroit. That's where I'm going to leave that. But the person that was supposed to be running for him, he should have had an inside track, seeing that he was right there with Kwame Kilpatrick. How come he couldn't galvanize all them people that voted for Kwame Kilpatrick? Did they convert over to Duggan? I mean, Anthony Adams had a very underwhelming campaign, to the point where nobody was even talking about the fucking mayoral race. They were talking about city council seats. They were talking about corrupt city council people. They weren't even talking because they knew Duggan wasn't going to be unseated. They also knew they were going to have about a 10% voter turnout. Yeah, you got 700,000 people in the city right now, approximately, and they were going to get about 70,000 to the polls. I guess they couldn't get them souls to stroll to the poll. Couldn't get them souls to stroll to the polls. But that's okay. Are you sitting or are you standing through this process? See, I don't want to hear shit from anybody that voted for Biden and Kamala, and you don't have serious answers for me now. If you voted for Biden and Kamala, then you should have answers for me as to why you did so, after being warned not to. If you wore the chucks, if you wore the pearls, you wanted Trump out of office, Biden. If you did all that, I need answers from you. Right now, motherfucker. I need answers from you. I'm looking for you. So I'm looking at 1 year from now, you got midterms. And if whoever doesn't put some shit in order, and you know the Democrats are the ones that everybody's going to say, well, you know, if they lose this and they lose that, and they'll probably lose in 24. They're going to lose in 24, and they're going to lose in 22 if they don't get some shit right. Plenty of time to write policy and legislation, but you're going to have to change the ideology of the president, and he ain't looking at black folks right now. He looking at Latinos. 450 grand a man. Illegal motherfuckers. Walked over here, got lost. Now they gonna get rewarded with some bread. Ain't this a bitch? I've gone places and got lost and got nothing. The most I got was my shit over the loudspeaker. Has anybody seen the parents of Shannon McFall? Please come to the Lost and Found. That's all I ever got. I got lost at Cedar Point one time, and they had to get on the loudspeaker. And I don't even think that shit goes all over Cedar Point. It's kind of like regional. So if your people ain't in that area there, you fucked up. You might end up working at the amusement park. But that's okay. I'm just trying to say, how you get lost when you came to a place that you wasn't supposed to come to without permission. Now they're going to cut you a check. Who gets broke off after they break off from the territory that they from illegally and arrive here illegally? Something's going on. I'm not getting messages, and it's now scrolling now. Jasmine Virgo, what's going on, lady? Free, what's happening? What's happening? The chat is not scrolling. I don't know exactly if Hap's got something going on. I look up and it said 18 messages. It said 18 messages. It usually scrolls and like it just keeps moving. It ain't moving. Something's going on. I'm having to manually move the chat. But I see y'all in there kicking it with each other. Just a few of us in here tonight. It's late. I watched BTP, then watched somebody else's shit. And I said, you know what? Let me just go on and light up real quick. And then get this out because I got to lay the groundwork for the rest of this week. It's the beginning of the month. And there's a few motherfuckers that I'm just going to not be fucking with on a regular basis anymore because I got to stay on task. Because if I get off task, it's not a good thing. I need to stay on task. So I need to know if motherfuckers are standing or if they're sitting. If they're sitting, I'm good. Uh-oh, says I'm frozen. Says I'm frozen. Sorry about that. I don't know how long I was frozen. Speaking of frozen, goddammit, it snowed in this motherfucker today. It snowed and it did that little ice chip shit. Yes. November 2nd. Snowing. I got a motherfucking vest on right now. Just a bitch. I don't even know where my gloves are at. I have to get them bitches soon, though. Just gonna fuck around and start snowing. So, yeah. Low-ass voter turnout in Detroit. And it wasn't so bad. Well, it is so bad, goddammit. 10% voter turnout is horrible. Because you already know that 10% of those people, or if it's 10% of the population, all those aren't black people. Absolutely not. And we need policy in Detroit really bad. Duggan has done a lot of greasy shit over 8 years. Now he's looking to do some more over 9, 10, 11, and 12. You know, I'm hearing all this policy about Medicare and all kinds of shit going away. I mean, they talking about taking dental and hearing and shit away from the elderly. When you get old and shit, what do you need the most? You need the dental. You need the hearing. How you gonna take them benefits away from people that can't afford this shit? They taking the child thing away. When the ladies get off work, they get the family benefit. Nah, get your ass back to work. They say if you have a baby on Sunday and you can't report to work on Monday, that's your ass. That's the kind of shit they're trying to push forward. This is the Democrats. So I want to hear shit about the Republicans. This is the Democrats trying to push this shit forward. I mean, y'all act like the Democrats are so godly, so righteous, and they keep doing greasy ass shit. The Republicans just standing over there on the side like, damn, they killing themselves. They killing themselves. We ain't even got to fuck with them. And in every little fucked up situation, they want to bring up Trump. Stop bringing up Trump's name. Out of sight, out of mind. Treat him like an old girlfriend. Out of sight, out of mind. Y'all giving Trump more play than he deserved. He can't get on social media or nothing. He's trying to start up his own social media platforms, TV stations, everything, because he craves that attention. He desires that attention, and he can't get it without the media presence. Ain't no TV network gonna sign him right now while he's out of office. They keep on to bring him up. They keep on to bring him up like that 4 years that he did was the worst 4 years in American history. I got 4 more years that I could give you that Trump didn't even come close to fucking up. Way bad. Yeah. It's all right. They want to keep going to that like he fucked up this whole fucking country. Nah, motherfucker. Let's go back a taste. Let's just go back a taste. So I'm trying to see where some shit's popping off where I know I am, and I know I'm in a position to where I don't have to deal with any of these motherfuckers out here. If they not standing. If you're not standing, I don't want to fuck with you. I'm not gonna fuck with you. If you cheat and you just laying down in the field, you just grazing, you just waiting for them to come by and get all that wool up off your back. Every 4 years they come shave that wool up off your back. Yeah. Every 4 years they come get that wool up off your back, and you don't benefit from it. You left out in the cold shivering and shit. They don't even give you a pair of fucking wool socks. The Dems take all that shit and you don't get nothing for it. And I'm specifically talking to black folks who voted a 90% clip for the Dems. Yeah. Dems the motherfuckers that hate your ass. You think the Republicans hate your ass? The Dems hate your ass. Because they can look you right in the motherfucking face. Right in your face and tell you a lie. You vote for them, and then you get them elected, and they'll look right in your face and tell you another lie. That's a motherfucker that hates you. Oh, they hate you. They hate you and your mama. How about that? They hate you and your mama. And won't say shit. You notice that the whole thing with with Clyburn and all this other shit that he did right at the beginning. Joe knows us, and we know Joe. Where that at now? We don't know Joe no more. Joe don't know. He literally said, "I got your back because you had mine." Where is that? Just replay that shit to him. I know he's got some dementia. I know Joe ain't remembering all his shit. I know he ain't remembering all his shit. Prime legend.
Yeah. In the wise words,
man, you gotta help me with this, Prime.
I got you. Let's get it.
How come motherfuckers just won't put the question to Joe? Joe, you said you had our back on election night. What happened? And just shut up. Just do the salesman. You lay the pin on the contract and you just shut up and you make him tell you why he hasn't done for you. Why ain't we doing that?
Two answers. They not doing that because the people who's not doing that, they're not doing that because they are part of the Democrats in the establishment. I repeat, the Democrats in the establishment.
You lost the letter, bruh. Wait a minute.
Intentionally.
The letter
Intentionally lost the letter. Yeah.
Intentionally.
I intentionally lost the letter there. Yeah. Yes, I'm slow and I don't know how to spell, but I intentionally misspelled it like that. The Democrats, and they're part of the talking heads and the Democrat establishment, which is vote blue no matter who. So they're not going to challenge him because they're team white supremacy and team Democrats first. They're not team Freedmen first. They're not team black first. They're not team reparations first. They're not team black economic empowerment first. They're not team building institutions and ownership and controlling and creating wealth, generational wealth for freedmen families. They're not team political proper representation for black people or for the freedmen,
right?
The American freedmen,
right?
The other part to that is there are people who have been calling them out, who have said, like the Freedmen media on motherfucking deck. There are people like Brother Shannon, myself, BTP, and other people who are calling him out and challenging him and who understand that he's a racist, white supremacist, condescending piece of shit. And we are calling him out and telling him, you said that if you thinking about voting for Trump, you ain't black.
Come on, man.
We remember when you said that, and we talking about Jim Crow Joe. We remember when you said that, well, damn, I lost my train of thought. We remember when you said that, the black people got me into office, so I got your back. When in reality, you showed us your back. You turned your back and gave us your backside to kiss. You have done nothing for us. Nothing of substance, nothing but symbolism. And now you're giving actual tangible resources in our reparation direct payments money to illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants. Now we know there are immigrants who come to this country legally and they go through the process, but this ain't even for them. The American freedmen population is dying. There's a black Holocaust against them. They're suffering. We have little to no resources. We're under-resourced. And you're giving money and resources to Afghans and illegal immigrants.
So
that's
I'm
a
glad
problem.
You brought up the Afghans there.
That's a problem.
I'm glad you brought up the Afghans there.
Fuck Jim Crow Joe. Go ahead. My bad, bro.
I thought you were done. That's why I was waiting there. So when you brought up the Afghans, people are losing sight that the Afghans are illegals too. They have not been naturalized. They have not been made American citizens. They were just hoisted onto an aircraft and given blankets and given food and brought to American soil on American taxpayers' dime and given resources from moment zero. It wasn't moment one. They didn't get resources when they first got to America. They boarded an American aircraft in Afghanistan. Came here and were already promised resources, places to live. They're giving people now. You already know what it costs to live in New York, so I know it's expensive. New
It
York
ain't cheap.
California have something different going on.
It ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap. So, but I know just in Michigan alone, if you just want to move somewhere and you ain't balling, but if you just want to move somewhere and be okay, you need about $5 to $6 grand. I'm talking first class, security, have all your shit, and hopefully you got some furniture already to put in that bitch, because that's not including furniture. That's $5 to $6 grand. You need more, I'm sure, in New York and California. Not knowing how much, but I know you need more money.
Oh, yeah.
They are giving motherfuckers $20,000 per family here in Michigan for moving to find residency. Wow. $20,000.
And that's to move to Michigan?
No, these are the
move out of
Afghanis
Michigan
they've already brought here. They're here. $20,000. They're giving them $20,000 to go out and find a place to live, this, that, and the other. They're not jumping on welfare. They're not getting Section 8. These motherfuckers are about to be solvent from day one.
Wow.
They are about to be okay from day one. They don't need, and they're still going to
day zero, like you said. Day zero.
Yeah. They're still going to soak up the Medicaid. They're still going to soak up all the other benefits.
Welfare, yeah.
Because their women classify as single. If they're just Islamic married, they ain't got no marriage license. So technically in America, they're single.
Right. I ain't think about that.
And all the welfare benefits and shit. Get bridge cards and all that shit. Move into these subsidized housing communities. See, and they got the money to move in these places. You need $5-6 grand to move in these motherfuckers. And they'll move into a subsidized townhouse, pay that $5,000-$6,000 down, still got a little bit of money in the kitty to get some furniture, probably a car, and everything. And they're federally taxed, so it's not like they're going to get denied. They ain't got to worry about no credit history. They'll be like, oh, no, they just came over from Afghanistan. Approved. If they know the deadly Afghanis that are coming over, they're approved already. Also, they've got jobs waiting for them. They ain't bringing over dumb motherfuckers. They bringing over educated motherfuckers.
Right. This is the game. And a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them, not all, what do they identify as? White. They identify as white. Got to say the H for the hate. I see them in the corner stores or bodegas, as they're known out here in New York City. We call them the Akis. And there is no love lost as far as their perspective against freedmen and black people in the neighborhood. They come into the neighborhood, open up their businesses to make money and exploit the freedmen population here and other black people in this in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what they're here for, to make money and to come here and fuck the vagina of America.
Yeah,
Because they get to
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Because they get to do it. As you said, they're getting $20,000. Really? I could use $20,000 right now. Badly.
I don't know very many freedmen that couldn't use 20 grand.
It's crazy, man. This is absolutely disgusting. Just like Frida said. Absolutely disgusting. Salute to Sister Frida. Frida the Freedman. And salute to the chat, Jasmine Virgo. So, Joe
If you
Biden. Go ahead.
Afghanis come here, educated Afghanis coming over here,
Right.
you are about to displace educated
Right.
blacks.
Right. Right. Because everybody gets priority over the freedmen and black people.
Oh yeah.
There's a
Oh yeah.
study that shows that white people who have no high school diploma or degree get paid or have more wealth than actual freedmen and black people with college degrees.
You could have dropped out of high school as a white man and be worth more than a motherfucker with a college degree.
Exactly.
I'm like, you
So
could have sat on the couch. 11th and 12th grade, you sat on the couch. Here, I went off to college and got a motherfucking bachelor's, and your ass got a more net worth than I got.
Right. Right. So you could miss me with the we all poor and we all oppressed and all this other bullshit.
Right.
When the research and the data shows, the facts show that being poor white is not the same as being freedman poor.
Right.
It's not the same as being black poor. It is a difference. And then you got white people who could say, and they have said this for years, I may be poor, but I'm not black. I may be poor, but I'm not black. Let's talk about it. Talk about that. So how dare you, Jim Crow Joe, and any other administration and the entire Biden administration talk about, like, is this being actually legislated, or they're having a conversation about giving illegal immigrants $450,000 per? Is this like being in like legislated? Like,
nothing's happening right now officially. One, he's overseas.
They're having a discussion.
He's overseas right now. They started talking about it before he left, but now he's jet setting around the world, going to all these goddamn conferences. Basically embarrassing America. They caught his ass asleep yesterday at the summit. They caught his ass. Somebody took a picture of the motherfucker dead ass sleep at the conference. All this shit is too much for him, man. He's gonna die. Joe's not gonna make it all 4 years. I thought he would tap out after the first year and a half. I don't know if he's gonna make it at all.
And then we're gonna have Kamala, KKKOP, Mala, Imhoff, Harris
up here running the country. Listen.
Say what? We need who, you said?
Kamala Imhoff. That's her name. That's her husband's name. Her husband's name ain't Harris. That's her daddy's name. And she don't represent her daddy. So if you don't represent your daddy, you can't have the Harris brand. Imhoff it is, bitch.
Kamala.
Doug's name.
Kamala or come all on her Harris.
Downtown Willie Brown got a story to tell. I need to get him on free media. I bet he can tell all kinds of things about Kamala.
I'm sure a lot of guys have a story to tell about come all on her Harris.
I want to get Montel Williams and Willie Brown on the same show. And have Judge Joe Brown moderate it.
They might have had it at the same time. They was doing the Eiffel Tower and tag teaming,
You know you nasty. You know you nasty.
Freedman nasty. Let's go.
So where I've got a real problem, the title is, bruh, are you standing or are you sitting? Or are you sitting or are you standing? I don't know which one I put first. It don't matter right now.
Are you
I need to
sitting
know
or
where motherfuckers
standing?
at.
Yeah.
Are
Are
you
you
sitting?
sitting or standing?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's just go right into the teeth of this shit.
Let's get it. Come on.
If this motherfucker said he's contemplating on giving $450,000 per
Mm.
man to illegal absconding Latinos who got lost, he went that away, he went that away, he went that away several years ago, and you talking about doing this, where the fuck is Cory Bush? Where the fuck is Jamal Bowman? Where the fuck is Cory Booker?
Mm.
Aren't they supposed to be fighting for reparations? Aren't they supposed to be fighting for, hey, HR 40?
Right.
HR 40. Where's Sheila Jackson Lee? She may be
Right.
want to tighten that motherfucking braid around her head right now.
Right.
Where is motherfucking Auntie Maxine at?
Yep.
They were so hateful about DACA. They were so hateful about the anti-Asian shit. But what about right now? Y'all ain't upset that they talking about giving reparations to somebody that's been through some shit for 36 months, but you don't want to talk about some people that's been through some shit for 402 years?
Let's go. Come on.
Where is your love for the people that keep voting y'all monkey asses in office?
There is no love. There is no love, and this shows and prove it.
Say, this is bullshit. Come on, President. This is bullshit.
There is no love, and this shows and prove. The silence is deafening.
I'm like,
their silence is deafening.
I'm not expecting anything from Kamala. I'm not expecting. Obviously, Joe's contemplating. I'm not expecting anything from him at all. But I'm not expecting anything from Kamala. I'm not expecting. Hell, look at what's her name? The girl that looked like Lupita, the black girl, the Haitian girl that's on Kamala's staff. They had her doing the press conferences for a minute. Where was she for the Haitians? She didn't speak up for the Haitians one bit. Her people getting their ass whooped with fucking horse reins at the border, and she didn't say shit.
Right. And let me address that, because Maxine Waters and her old civil rights wigs, she over here talking about that was worse than slavery.
Oh man.
What dumbass talking about that was worse than slavery? How dare you? How dare you? Nobody over there was getting raped, murdered, brutalized, getting their children taken away from them, literally out their hands. How dare you even compare it to slavery? I can understand you saying, oh, that could invoke some type of, like, time during the slave, but don't you ever dare say that was worse than the institution of slavery here in America, of chattel slavery. Shut the hell up, Maxine Waters. You're a coon. You're a coon.
How do you equate immigrants voluntarily? No, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Illegal Haitians.
Illegal immigrants.
Voluntarily coming to America. How do you equate that to slavery? Now, understanding they were getting beat by the reins of the horse. They've clarified they didn't have whips. They were using their reins on the horse. Okay. So whatever. No big deal. My thing is, how do you put slavery on that? In slavery, they snatched the babies from the mothers, from the father's arms, and took them off.
That's right.
They was throwing these babies back at the motherfuckers.
That's right. They was bug breaking the men. They was bug breaking the men, breeding men and women as if they were animals. What the fuck are you talking about, Maxine Waters?
And slavery, they was taking the black women and going behind the shed and raping them.
Exactly.
Haitians, they was throwing their ass back in the water. They didn't want that Haitian pussy.
Exactly.
They didn't want none of that Haitian pussy.
Although I have heard some things about Haitian. Heard some.
What you heard?
Your boy Star. I don't know if he be trolling, but he be saying Haitian pussy is the best.
Who?
Star.
Oh, straight up?
That's what he say. I don't know.
I ain't never heard him talk about that. He was talking about some place that he went on vacation, but it wasn't Haiti. I didn't know. So Haitian got some good
That's
burgers.
what he says. You know, stars sometimes be trolling, but I believe him. I think he really mean that.
Wow. What up, Tony D? So they've shown that they
Salute
will
to
bring
Star
in
too, by the way.
and
I
keep
respect Star.
who they want. Because if you got Haitians, I know there was some shit with Haiti 3 years ago when they had the problem with the Latinos. How come I ain't heard no talk about Haitians getting $450? When I say $450, when I say $450, everybody know I'm talking about 450,000.
Right.
We can say
Right.
450 large. We can say 450 large. OG Classic Jones. What's happening? But my thing is this. How come we ain't hearing about nobody else getting no money but these supposed people that were separated when they illegally washed up over here? How come I'm not hearing about it? They real quiet about the Afghanis because they giving them so much goddamn money off the rip. They don't even want to talk about that.
Right.
And we only saw the couple aircrafts bringing Afghanis over here. You know that's a perpetual thing right now. They're continuing to bring motherfuckers over here. Right now, they got Air Afghani going. You know what I'm saying? They got a special aircraft to bring them motherfuckers over here. They got a big-ass stock of warm blankets. Them motherfuckers be getting off the aircraft. They got them blankets wrapped around them. They wearing them goddamn wooden sandals and shit. And they coming over to this bitch getting 20 grand a family to get a house. They getting insurance. I mean, they getting the full boat. They get Medicaid, so they gonna get health insurance. They gonna get dental. They gonna get optical. They getting all that shit.
Yeah.
And they got a job waiting for them because, like I said, they not bringing over no motherfucking degenerates. They bringing over educated motherfuckers. They bring educated motherfuckers. Ali is about to be somebody's supervisor, and he just got here.
He just got here, man. This is the bullshit. He's getting priority over actual citizens who's been here, over actual freedmen workers who've been here, who have the experience, who are actual citizens, and quite frankly, deserve it, and who needs to be given the priority, not immigrants. No, and I don't care how immigrants feel about that. No, you don't get to jump the line. Sorry, not sorry. No.
If you have any type of tolerance for this, you're sitting. You're sitting. If you have empathy for anybody that comes to this country voluntarily, illegally, whether it be malicious or not, when they step onto this territory, your spot over here is compromised. Because if you're a bottom caste, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to go at your spot.
Facts.
They're like, ingratiate right into this system.
Facts.
And black. I'm going to look for the black resources. And then once I get elevated, they're not black no more.
Exactly.
And we'll call you a nigga in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They'll call you a chocolate. What all that shit they call you.
Oh, yeah.
Motown, whatever the fuck they call you.
Right.
They'll call you that shit.
We already established that these Afghanistans, when they come over here, they identify as white. Gotta say the H for the hate. White. They are putting white on the census. They can identify as white. And when they come over here and immigrate or migrate over here, whatever you want to call it, and get planes over here from the administration and get money and all that and resources, they assimilate into this system of white supremacy.
Yeah.
They assimilate just like mostly other people do, mostly other immigrants. Listen, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, family. I have African immigrants or just other immigrants, West Indian immigrant friends or whatever, allies, and they tell me one of the requirements for them to come over here is to be a coon, is to separate themselves from the freedmen. When you come over here, they tell you, listen, this is a good American, which is someone who looks like Trump or Bill Gates, and this is a bad American, which is someone who looks like me and brother Shannon with guns and do rags and pants sagging off our ass and shit. This is their orientation.
Yep.
This is their orientation. And they do this with the immigrant population, in particular, the black immigrants. That's a part of it. This is a fact. This is not even me speculating. No, I'm not an immigrant, but I have immigrant friends. We have that real conversation and we talk.
What's good, anonymous Facebook user?
The hell?
Appreciate you, Freedman. So, have you ever talked to somebody that you know that they've probably been schooled to hate us?
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if it was you or if it was somebody else, but these motherfuckers are literally trained. Okay, here's the thing.
Oh yeah.
You know how when we go out of the country and shit, and we go over there and the motherfucking TV shows to be on and shit, they be showing all that old buffoonery shit.
Right.
I mean, we love and laugh at Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence, the Martin Lawrence show is great. Martin show. That's how they think the quintessential black man acts. It's either Martin or it's Cole or it's Tommy. Martin is the over-the-top radio host. He got what they would call a good job, works in a major city, got a girlfriend. Then you got Cole, very dumb. Cole is dumb. Dumb black man. But you notice how Cole was dumb, but he kept a job and he stayed fly. Cole was a great dresser.
Right.
Very, very, very Afrocentric, very, very on his shit. Then you had tall, dark, and handsome Tommy, who was ambiguous with his employment. We never knew what Tommy really did. Right. But he
Tommy ain't got no job.
Right? Tommy stayed fly too.
With no job.
No, Tommy had a job. We just don't know what he did.
Tommy ain't got no job. You ain't got no job, Tommy. Sorry. You ain't got no job, Tommy. I'm sorry.
Tommy, wait a minute. Tommy could have been one of them dark Afghanis, and he came over here.
Stop it, man. You on that bullshit. You on that bullshit, man. Stop.
So, and then you have Pam. You ever notice how Pam was always getting put on by Gina? Pam must have been selling pussy because Pam really never held a job down.
Yo, chill. Come on, yo.
So you got.
I ain't gonna say that about Pam. Because I remember Pam.
Huh?
I ain't gonna say that about Pam because I remember Pam wasn't. I think Gina did put her on though, but as she should. Because I remember Pam was working in the office with Gina. Yeah.
But remember when Gina was working and then she got the promotion, and every time she tried to put Pam on, Pam would kind of fuck it up. And then, okay, so, and I know that place. I had people that lived in the place supposedly where Martin lived.
Right. Was that really recorded in Michigan?
Nah, that shit was in Hollywood. They just used a main drag downtown Detroit, and that's a real apartment complex. River Place Apartments is a real apartment. And
okay.
So if you notice, only Martin lived in that apartment.
Okay.
Martin lived there, had a decent job. He lived across the hall from Shanae.
Right.
Now, Shanae did everything from hair, nails. Shanae probably sold a little pussy too, or a little bussy.
Well, Bussy, yeah. Shanae was a
Bussy.
Shanae was a man. Okay.
Let's just call it what it is. Shanae was a
Let's
man.
keep it real. Shanae was a man.
So that apartment complex would be one of, back in the day, it would have been one of the nicer or higher priced apartments. So they created that type of imaging the way they did with the Cosby Show. Nobody really knew that was a multi-million-dollar fucking brownstone.
Right. Right. That's a multi-million-dollar brownstone in Brooklyn.
They made it seem like, oh yeah, anybody can live over here. Kept
Right.
showing them old same ass raggedy cars out front.
Right.
You wouldn't see raggedy ass cars that was out in front of that goddamn brownstone.
Right. Right. I still appreciate, like, even though the Cosbys was like an exception to the rule for like as far as like representation of the Freeman family, it was still a part of like other like Freeman experience. Maybe not the masses of the Freeman, but I appreciated that representation because a lot of times the representation of the Freeman won't always in a good light. So I appreciate that that Freedman representation. You know what I mean? From a black family.
Absolutely.
Like it was very, very positive and strong. And you know, the Cosby Show was real like number one for years. Like people really resonated with that. Even white people or white people. You know, of course, black people resonated with that, you know. It was very rare to have your mother a lawyer and your father a doctor.
Right.
In the Freeman family, but you know, they were definitely very wealthy. I repeat, wealthy, and they were well off. So yeah, that was a great show. But
too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. See, what happens is you breathe and you still have something to say. So you need to start giving me a signal when you're done. Because I'm gonna start when you pause at the end, I think you're done, and you say something like right at the end, right when I start talking again. So I'm gonna wait till you give me the signal to go. Because
no doubt.
You have your point sometime will be going on. I'll be thinking you done, and I'll start talking, and you have like a whole another point. And by the time you get it out, I've already like said like 5 words. So I want to get the go ahead. But you're right on that representation. But you know what was so perfect about that was that they did it by lineage too. Remember the Huxtables and Claire's parents, they were well off too.
Right.
They were like working well off. You know, they were like had been school teachers and you know, they had been some shit like what was it? Claire's father was a jazz singer. Her father was played by Joe Williams. And you know, he was a blues singer, something like you know, they didn't just say like Claire and Heathcliff were overachievers. No, they came from some good stock.
Right.
You know, they came from good shit.
Very important too. Yeah. Very important.
Yeah. They told that story too. You know, told a story of long relationship. They had the 49th and had the 50th wedding anniversary. They showed longevity with black marriages. See, they dispelled so many myths about black people and black marriages and black families. Bill didn't get involved in no bullshit.
Right.
He was like, no, you ain't gonna have me kicking around a junkyard, being broken shit, living in a project.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get on some fluent shit.
Because that is also a part of the Freeman experience. Like, not all of us.
That is our experience. They kicked us down. Nigga,
not all of us are not all of us are impoverished or live in the projects or, you know, fucked up financially. Definitely the vast majority of us are. But there's also that Freeman experience where, you know, some of us are well off to do, and we still deal with the racism and everything, but you know, we have well off to do Freeman families, and you might end up going to like a predominantly white or white school, and you deal with it from that freedman experience. You see what I'm saying? So it's definitely like very, very different experiences depending on how you grew up and things like that. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
And I just want to kick in just to finish up the Martin shit. Spot on, Classic Jones. That maintenance man was a Mexican. That was some
Mm-hmm.
stereotypical shit right there. The
Yeah.
maintenance man was a Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Martin worked at the radio station, and Stan was a shyster. Now they didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to promote that he was a black businessman and out of
Mm.
the radio station. Now he had to be a
Right.
shyster. He had to be a
Right.
trickster. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And he was cheap.
He was cheap as fuck.
He
Had
was
the
cheap
worst
as fuck.
equipment. Had the worst equipment. Martin's got the #1 show in town, but they got a fucked up station.
Right. Martin is bringing in all the money and he's popping, but Stan, the owner, is cheap.
Right.
He don't have no quality, nothing. Somewhat of a like a player, maybe not like Jerome player, but somewhat of a maybe womanizer or whatever. He would use women. You know what I mean? Like,
And and
the stereotypical older black man type bullshit.
and don't let me take anything away from his thespian prowess, because Garrett Morris is a great actor. He's a legend.
He is
He's a
great.
legend. So I'm not taking anything away from Garrett himself, because Garrett mastered that role. Because what
Fact.
did he do? He flipped that shit into Uncle Junior on the Jamie Foxx show.
Exactly.
Same
Which was
fucking
a more
character.
positive businessman role with the Jamie Foxx show.
Right. Still cheap fuck, but he was
He
a
was
family.
he was still funny though. He was like even more funny in the Jamie Foxx show. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny as shit. And
I'm
he
sure
knew
he's
how
a
to.
freedman too. Pretty
Huh?
sure. Pretty sure he's a freedman, Garrett Morris.
Yes, he is a freedman.
Okay.
And before I started talking about Friedman, I know I talked about him as ADOS.
Okay.
He is indeed
Gotcha.
one of us.
Okay.
He is indeed one of us.
Nice.
Just like we were talking about the cast of Cooley High, and they can kiss my ass by saying that we can't fill a movie script up. God damn it, if we could fill it up back in the early 70s, why the fuck can't we fill it up in the 2021?
Right. Samuel Jackson, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. He's my favorite of all time. Will Smith. Like, come on, man. Stop with the bullshit.
Right. Stop with the bullshit.
So many Freeman actors and actresses. Just stop with the bullshit, man. Stop. What's the name? Don Cheadle. He thought he was a Native American, and then most recently he found out he was a freedman.
Be blacker than a motherfucker. Be blacker than a motherfucker looking for a set of feathers.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that some of us ain't got it in our blood. I got it in my blood from my maternal side. We know my grandmother was Indian, but my granddaddy found her in Mississippi, down there with black folks. So whatever happened with her parents and her parents' parents, by the time it got to us, nigga. She was being called a nigga. My granddaddy's being called a nigga. Eventually, she came north.
Yeah.
She wasn't on no reservation, nowhere, no how. We ain't got dibs on none of these casinos.
Right. They didn't claim, the Native American tribes don't claim her.
If I can't walk up on a reservation and say, I want that one right there.
Right.
I'm not claiming Native American heritage.
You can't claim none of their casinos.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I should never, ever pay for a hotel room if I'm Native American. I should never pay for it in a casino that's owned by the Indians. Because I know we call them Native Americans now, but that's who got the casinos, the Indians. I mean, a lot of the casinos owned by them are they're the Indian names. They just started using the Native American name for their political status, just like we should be using freedmen because it's our political status.
Exactly. Exactly.
Black
Like
was just
everybody has an identity politically. Black is not a political identity. Black is not a political identity. And history has shown and proven that the freedman is the proper identification and status for us.
right,
For us. We found the answer, and it's not black. We found the answer that politically represents our entire history. And the proof shows that we have gotten resources. We had a bank. We was getting clothing. We was getting aid. All this aid that you see immigrants getting and everybody else getting, we were getting that under the freedman name. So it's no question that that should be our name. So when people argue against it, it's just foolish.
right.
You might as well boil up the freedman fist and punch him with it, because the history has shown and proven that that is who we are. American freedmen, the original freedmen. It ties everything. It ties the foundational Black Americans. It ties American descendants of slaves, of chattel slaves, whatever you want to call it. That is us. Freedman is shorter, or American freedman is shorter. It's more empowering. It's more specific. It's more exclusive. It's more like, when I say that, people are like, oh my God, well, what is that?
Right.
You know, I'm out here in the streets talking to people, and they're like, oh, some people even know. They're like, oh yeah, I know the freedman, and other people's like, well, what's a freedman? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? And it's actually a lot of us that I've been coming across here in New York. I know New York is known for a lot of immigrants and everything, or Black immigrants, especially like West Indian and Caribbean. But the people I've been coming into contact are also, by and large, American freedmen. So yeah, our history cannot be denied. It will not be denied. We must protect it and put up these political barriers to exclude others from using our pain and our suffering and our history to further their political agenda. We all are not oppressed. All of us are not getting knees on our neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. All of us have not been excluded from the access and the wealth in this country. All of us do not suffer from the playground to prison pipeline. All of us are not being mass incarcerated.
Right.
So stop with the bullshit. All of us are not being gentrified.
So, did you see RZA dancing on online?
Hell no. I wouldn't want to see it, but I did see that coon Al Sharpton dancing and trying to get people to vote. It reminded me of that bullshit with Black Lives Matter Global telling people to twerk, or like black women. They were showing black women twerking and shit, telling us to get our asses to the pole.
Okay, yeah, here it is.
And his corny ass dance moves, his old civil rights dance moves. Man, we gotta get Al Sharpton the fuck up out of here, man. We have to.
So,
him and Jesse Judas Jackson, who look like he should be eating cheeseburgers from a fucking straw.
What happened to him? That nigga fell up the steps. They said he fell up the steps in Washington. Why is Jesse walking alone? Why is Jesse walking unassisted?
Oh my goodness, man. It's terrible.
He fell up the steps.
It's terrible. Today is election day too, fam. Yeah, yesterday was election day. I've been engaging in the local politics here. It's pretty much a done deal. Someone that I've been working on their campaign, they're pretty much going to be a part of the city council. So I'm very proud of that. I believe in them.
Nice.
And she is a third generation woman from Harlem. Nice. Very likely she is freedman or whatever, and she has the freedman consciousness, and she's willing to work for the people of Harlem, you know, because it resonates with her, and it's very personal, and she's definitely anti-establishment, you know what I mean? So it's all good. I appreciate her.
Good.
Very important, family, that we engage in civics, and we engage. This is our duty as citizens. The illegal immigrants, they are not citizens, but this is our duty as citizens to engage in the politics, to control your own narrative and destiny, especially when it comes to the local politics. Local politics affects us directly. That city budget, that state budget affects you directly. It affects your schools. You got kids? I don't got kids. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I don't have any kids that I know of. I'm not on any birth certificates. But it's still personal to me because I'm in the streets with the youth. I engage with the youth. And I believe in empowering the youth. I believe in just making connections with people who are receptive to the Freedman message. If you are receptive to the Freedman message and you want to learn more, you want to know more, you want to be an ally or a comrade, or if you want to be in the political trenches with us, or if you want to empower your people in the neighborhoods or just empower the youth so that they can carry on the Freedman legacy and the Freedman will, I'm willing to work with you. If you're not a coon, like Al Sharpton and Barack Obama and Kamala Harris, I can work with you. We can build. You understand? So, yeah, it's very important that we engage in our politics locally, especially locally. That's where it starts. That's where it ends. We need to not just fight the power, but be the power.
And here's the thing:
That's
you
right.
can't get upset. You can't get emotional where this is concerned, because being political and being emotional don't share the same lane.
Right.
And
Right.
where you get upset, you lose focus politically. You may feel like you're making your point, but once you're part of the political process, your emotions needs to go away, and you only need to experience any type of I don't know, if you're going to experience some feeling, if you're going to experience, some glee, it's because you got policy and legislation your way, your people's way. But as far as you being excited because someone got elected, that means a damn, because they may not advocate for you. And if they don't advocate for you, what good was them being elected? I mean, you like the way they talk. You thought that they were articulate. You thought this, that, and the other. See, that's what we as a people go for. We go for that nice and shiny politician that talks nice to us, that
Right.
says charismatic shit to us, but they don't have to promise us anything. They just have to be nice to us.
Right.
And
Right.
once we're there, they get in and they said, well, all we promised is that we're going to be nice to you. We didn't promise you anything tangible. But over here, we did have something tangible for the gay folks. And we did have
Right.
something tangible for the Latino folks. And we did
Right.
have something tangible for the Asian folks, because they put together a whole ledger of policy and legislation that they said that they wanted in, and they would vote for us, and we did so. See, we don't do that. We don't go to the polls with a mission. We go to the polls looking for a sticker. We want to be proud that we voted because somebody died for me to have the right to vote. No, they didn't.
Which is a lie. They didn't die for us to have the right to vote. But yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Nobody died for you to have the right to fucking vote.
For white supremacy.
Right. Nobody did that. And that lie has been turned around hundreds and hundreds of times, thousands of times, maybe millions of times now, that people died for us to have the right to vote. No, they didn't.
They did not.
People died for us to have a legitimate part of the political process.
Exactly.
Voting is just a part of that.
Right.
They also wanted us to hold office.
Right. And be in
They
positions of
don't cast
power.
ballots.
Exactly. And to be in positions of power where we had that.
Right.
Hiram Revels, Robert Smalls. See what I'm saying? Prince Hall. These
Your
men, these freedmen, were people in positions of power. And this is what they died for. That's what they died for.
right.
To control their own, to amass political power and influence, to protect themselves from white supremacy and to fight against it. That's what that was for. Not to
Right.
just say I voted and now I have a sticker. And
Right.
now we're gonna go through the same problems we've been going through all these years. But I voted. What did you vote for? Why did you? I asked someone that. What did you vote for, and why did you vote? Why should I vote for this person? Why? How are they gonna benefit my interest and my group's interest in their in the collective interest of my people? These are the questions that you should be asking. If you're an elderly person, you could ask, what are they gonna do for the elderly? How are you gonna increase or enhance the quality of life for the senior citizens? This is your
Right.
twilight years. Don't you want to go out with a bang? Don't you want to go off happy or at peace? It's a lot of elderly people who are not at peace. They're still struggling,
Right.
even with retirement and social security and pensions and all this other stuff.
Right.
They not living happy. They not living their best life. You
You're talking
understand? The youth. What are they gonna do for the youth? The freedmen youth. Because this is the freedmen media. What are they gonna do for the freedmen youth other than a college degree? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna teach them and empower them psychologically? Are you gonna give them access? We always talk about opportunities. Are you gonna grant them with access? Vocational trade skills. It's not only about opportunities, that's income. Are you going to empower them to amass wealth, generational wealth? Will
right.
you empower them to become captains of industry?
Right. Right.
Captains of industry. Are you going to empower them to become entrepreneurs? That's access. That's control. That's ownership. And this
Right.
is America.
Right.
That's what that's about. I want to address this guy, possibly a troll, but we
No.
give.
No.
You
No.
don't
No.
want to?
No. Hold on. Hold
Okay.
on. Hold on.
All right. All right.
Hold on. He's one of us. He's a Filipino. So but I have to school him on where we are.
Okay.
So Emmanuel, I know this is only your second time here, and probably 3 or 4 casts back, I talked about staying on the topic because a lot of times, and you were with me last time for most of it before you ditched us for the cigar bar, but you were here long enough to understand how I bring about the message, how I dip in to the chat. But what we're doing right now is we're just kind of having a discussion as to what we're talking about. Are you sitting? Are you standing? Where are you at in the political process? This, that, and the other. Some of your questions, although valid, have been answered many casts ago. So it wasn't that I was ignoring you or your comments. I could see them, but I try not to disrupt him, as I don't like to be disrupted when I'm going in, because one of the big things is once I get thrown off, we might start talking about something else and we never come back to it. So I've got to stay disciplined enough to the people who are loyal listeners and subscribers and whatever they call it, because that's what they're here for. They're here for us to get that message out. So he started to speak. I heard you, well, seen you, and Classic Jones said they could see your comments. So you understand, we can see, we're just not going to break from what we say to start answering, because you're asking questions that are not about our topic. So
Okay.
understanding where you are, you ask about why do LGBT folks say they are similar to black folks? We've discussed that before.
Right.
Everybody has attacked civil rights and used it as their own. There would be no civil rights bill had it not been for us, had it not been for freedmen.
Freedmen, the American freedmen. Yep.
Yeah. So the civil rights bill was written because of us, for us, but everybody else has hijacked it and now uses it as their own. There is an LGBTQIAP civil rights bill. There is an Asian American Pacific Islander civil rights bill. There is a Latino civil rights bill. There's a civil rights bill for everybody now. When we just had one, now everybody just whited it out and used it for their own. That's why the LGBT and the LGBT pressed that, and that's how they got legislation pushed. Because
Native Americans
first century is just as much of a stalwart as the civil rights movement was in the 60s. They're using the same tactics. They've done marches, they've done protests, they've dealt with the mainstream media. LGBT is strong like the black civil rights movement in the 60s. They've done nothing new. They're just gay.
Right.
They have done absolutely nothing new. They're just gay. Where I don't fuck with the LGBTQIAP movement. I fuck with gay people, but I don't fuck with the LGBTQIAP movement because they are racist.
Facts. They are a part of white supremacy, which is why you see them getting legislation so quickly.
Right. Right.
When you really think about it, is that simple. Not all LGBT, but the powers that be are most definitely affiliated with the LGBT power structure, and the LGBT mafia is what I call it. Which is why they're able to get legislation, which is why they have political power as well as economic power to back up whatever they do. Why else would they have Lil Nas X in a picture pregnant, as if he's pregnant? How does that help us defeat white supremacy? What is the point of that? But yeah, I don't want to get off topic because we've definitely answered all that bullshit.
That question,
like today is about the immigrants, not LGBT. We've clapped the LGBT mafia plenty of times before.
Yeah, there's really no reason to continue to go down these roads, but I know you don't know that because you just got here last cast. So I know you don't know that. That's why it's not a bad thing for us to be able to explain this. But how we work it in the chat, I'll see the comments. I just may not respond to them immediately. And if I've got a panelist on with me, we don't just jump right in the chat. And I'm focusing more on staying on my topic. And then we'll get into the chat, especially if it's something that's not. We'll solve it. But we have talked about that so much that that's not even on our radar at this point. Because the way I look at it, I don't know how many cabinet positions there are for a president, but I know that there's 3 known gay people on his cabinet. Now, he didn't have to know that they were gay, but they purposely made us know that they were gay.
Let's go.
We purposely had to know that he had a trans person, that he had a gay man, and then he had a gay black woman. So he checked all the boxes.
Right.
Let me get
LGBT.
Let me get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm repeating it. I said LGBT.
Yeah. Let me get a gay white man, Pete Buttigieg. Let me get a gay woman and check the box of black at the same time. So he checked out 2 boxes right there. And let me get a trans person. So now I've got all bases covered where gay people are concerned. Even got a black voice in there.
Right. And it's a woman.
And a woman. And so
playing off the intersectionality bullshit.
Well, I mean, there is a political agenda for LGBTQIAP, and that is part of it. Put these messages into our educational system. I don't see GLAAD and all these other fucking places trying to stop all the gay propaganda coming up into the school system. Why is it okay with the LGBTQIAP? Why is it okay to sexualize
Right.
our
Children.
educational system?
Right.
Why is that okay?
Right.
You got teachers out here who can't fucking articulate the IB school system, the international baccalaureate shit, but you want them to articulate homosexuality in elementary schools. Are you fucking kidding me?
So I want us to, are you sitting or standing, Emmanuel? My answer to that is I stand on the shoulders of my freedmen ancestors. Dr. John Henry Clark, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Madam C.J. Walker. See what I'm saying? Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Malcolm X, Martin Luther the King Jr. See what I'm saying? Hiram Revels, Prince Hall, Robert Smalls, Sojourner motherfucking Truth. That's where I stand. In the freedmen, we stand together on the shoulders of the freedmen titans that I just mentioned. And that's only a few. We got so many. We got so many throughout our history. That's only a small few.
When black
said he's a Filipino or something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was asking. You said Emmanuel is Filipino or something
He's
like
Filipino
that.
American. He grew up in Chicago, Detroit, lives in Texas now.
Okay.
So, yeah. I know who he is, but he wasn't clear, and then he probably just, my chat room ain't popping like that, Emmanuel. It's just, if we don't get these things out, because I'm laying groundwork, because I'm not going backwards. I'm not dealing with clown shit. I don't have time for a whole bunch of bullshit. All that. If I get on this motherfucker, I'm serious. So, and it doesn't matter whether I got 20 people or 200 listening. The message is always going to be the same, but I've got to lay groundwork. I wasted a lot of time answering a lot of stupid ass questions in the past. Right. I'm not wasting those questions, wasting that time. I don't have time to do that.
We focus. That's the topic. Are you sitting or standing? Are you sitting or standing? That's the topic. Let's stay on topic. You feel me? What was that, Shannon?
I'm sorry.
Your thing, it broke up. Like you said, what you said?
I just was saying hello to Carlinda.
Okay. Got you. Okay. So, Carlinda.
When these type of situations happen, and we're in the positions that we're in, it hurts me to know that so many black women chose to chuck up Kamala Harris's photograph, but they wouldn't put up Fannie Lou Hamer's.
Fannie Lou Hamer. She was a real one. Oh my God, I love her.
How do you not put up Fannie Lou Hamer, but you hoist Kamala Harris? And if you want to go commercial with it, why didn't I see Coretta Scott King put up Kamala Harris? Why didn't I see? Is it Ellie Prince? Is that her name? Ellie Prince?
I'm not familiar with her.
I'm pretty sure her name is Prince. She was a writer on the voter process. I mean, we know Shirley Chisholm wasn't a freedman, but she had freedman mentality.
Consciousness, exactly. She was an ally.
Right.
She was an ally. Exactly. Shirley Chisholm. Yep. We got to give respect to our immigrant allies and comrades. She was not a freedman, but she was an immigrant and she was an ally. And she even took office and talked that freedman shit.
Right.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Whereas other immigrants come over here and try to, as the BTP Dr. Logic would say, mission drift.
Right.
Steer us away from the goals and the objectives of the freedmen. Very
Right.
disrespectful. Very disrespectful.
What's that lady's name? I cannot think of her name. That pisses me off. Ellie. No, it's not Parker. I've got because I posted shit about her. But one of the things that I found was that all the women that laid groundwork. Oh, fuck, Rosa Parks. You know, people only want to talk about Rosa Parks sitting on that motherfucking bus.
Okay.
But Rosa Parks was one of the original riders with the NAACP.
Mm-hmm.
Like real riders. Had nothing to do with that fucking bus at the beginning for her. That was really where her life changed and went a whole another direction. But Rosa Parks, an educated black woman, she was actually minimized to the woman who wouldn't move from the bus. But she had put in crazy work for freedmen and saw how them motherfuckers was going another direction and left the NAACP. See, the NAACP been on some coon shit for years.
Oh yeah.
Been on some coon shit for years, and people really just starting to talk about it, but they've been on some straight up boule bourgeoisie shit for years.
That's right. Boule beaucoup chez avec voir. And
That's
before there was Rosa Parks, if I could interject, there was Claudette Colvin.
Yes.
Claudette Colvin.
Yes.
She refused. She was the original Rosa Parks. She refused to give up her seat 9 months prior to Rosa Parks in 1955.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's some Freedman facts. Freedman facts. Black facts.
So her name is Ella something. Ella. God damn it. I'm going to find it. I'm surprised nobody. If Shannon was in here, Shannon would be able to tell me who it is. Her name is Ella, and she wore like her hair kind of in a bun. Okay. Very, very classy woman, and she was about her shit. If I put up YouTube, I know I could probably in my cookies on YouTube because I don't went to her shit before. Hold on a second. That bothers me because she was a powerful speaker. Ella Baker.
Ella Baker. Okay.
Check this shit out. She got
friends, brothers, and sisters in the struggle for human dignity and freedom.
That's right.
I'm here to represent the struggle that has gone on for 300 or more years.
He was a real one.
Struggle to be recognized as citizens in a country in which we were born. I have had about 40 or 50 years of struggle ever since a little boy on the streets of Norfolk called me a nigger. I struck him back, and then I had to learn.
Let's go, Ella. Let's go. He was a real one. Her and Fannie Lou Hamer, they was
that hitting back with my fist one individual was not enough. It takes organization. It takes dedication. It takes the willingness to stand by and do what has to be done when it has to be done. It has to.
Let's go. Come on, baby.
A nice gathering like today is not enough. You have to go back and reach out to your neighbors who don't speak to you. And you have to reach out to your friends who think they are making it good and get them to understand that they, as well as you and I, cannot be free in America or anywhere else where there is capitalism and imperialism until 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 we can get people to recognize that they themselves have to make the struggle and have to make the fight for freedom every day in the year, every year, until they win it. Thank you.
Salute. That's what I'm talking about. The
Now,
Queen, Ella Baker.
now, here, backstory to that, she was speaking to Puerto Rico. 74, she was speaking to Puerto Rico. I remember because I've talked about this. This is.
She was speaking to the immigrants.
Come on, man.
The immigrants.
It's 74, bro. So we're talking 47 years ago. She was saying you need to come on over here because you black.
Right. Right. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use.
Thank you, Sister Shanna.
Fair use. Fair use.
And she was speaking to them then about, she wasn't talking no Pan-African and shit.
Right.
She was saying we are American citizens. And this is our territory. And you want in this territory. I mean, Puerto Rico is supposed to be ours, right? They're supposed to be us.
Yeah. It's a part of us now, yeah.
Yeah, but who did Puerto Rico glean to? When you talk about Puerto Ricans in mass, they glean to the white side.
Right. They mostly identify as white. I think about 70% of them, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And
like, that's a fact. That's not even speculation.
Here back then, them motherfuckers was climbing into the country.
Right.
Trying to come up.
That was during the time of immigration was like, increasing and increasing. Yeah, in the 70s, yeah.
This said 1974.
Right after the civil rights freedmen work, yeah.
Right. And she was listed here as a human rights activist, but she was for freedmen. She was for black people.
Facts. She promoted grassroots organizing. I know who you talk about now, Ella Baker. You said Ella Prince. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. I don't know where I was at with Prince. I was like, I don't know why I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, Ella Baker was a real one. Her and Fannie Lou Hamer were female freedmen titans. They advocated for women's rights. I believe she even ran for U.S. Senate. They both were organizers and activists, which is I can relate because that's definitely most myself. They registered other freedmen to vote. They was a part of the SNCC, the Students Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Yeah. They advocated for the black men to be at the front.
Right.
You know what I mean? They advocated for the black men or the freedmen to lead the way. And in their own ways, they led as well, the females. But they wanted the freedmen and the black men to be at the forefront.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't this feminism bullshit. It wasn't this sexual liberation bullshit. They promoted freedman family.
Right.
The original trinity. Black man, black woman, and black child. That's my religion.
And we had gay people back then. There were gay people. There were gay women. There were gay men. But they didn't try to disengage the black family.
Exactly.
They didn't run off and say, you know what, I'm with my gay lover. and we're gonna go off and try to find somebody to impregnate one of us and raise the baby without a man. A woman was a mother. She was a nurturer. She was a bearer of a child.
Right.
Now what they call them, birthing stations. Now a woman is just a birthing station.
That's so disrespectful. Is that what it is? A birthing station? I thought
They
it
got
was
a
like
name for it,
birthing
dog.
parents or something like that.
I forgot the actual name, but a
I
mother
thought
is
it was
no
birthing
longer.
parents. No, like birthing parents. They don't even want to be called mothers. Like they it's too disrespectful or too. It's not politically correct to call people mothers now.
No.
You know, you already knew they didn't want to be called. They don't give respect to the men, the black men. So don't even acknowledge the fathers. But you can't even. You have to be called like a black birthing parent or something like that. That's what it is. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. I mean, they have an actual name for it. It's the birthing parent. You know, and then there's
Birthing station. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's so disrespectful to the women, to our black women. It's so disrespectful, and I will hope and pray that more of our women would stand up against this. I acknowledge there are a lot of women who do stand up and they not with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I will hope that those numbers increase because this is nonsense. This is nonsense. Every person on this planet came through the womb of a woman. Not a bussy, but a pussy, a woman. So you could miss me with the bullshit and the gender and the sex. Gender and sex is most definitely aligned, and it is the same. I don't care what anybody says. I do not allow white people to define terms for me and to disengage me from the objective reality and the facts and the practical reality of life.
Here we go. You ready?
I'm listening.
Only mixed groups tend to care about how Americans discuss gender and pregnancy, including whether it's better to use the term pregnant people instead of pregnant woman. But those groups care a lot. Representative, listen close, Representative Cori Bush of Missouri used the term birthing people in a hearing.
Right.
Causing an uproar on social media. When we talk about birthing people, we're being inclusive.
Right.
Bitch, what are you talking about? And I'm calling her a bitch. And I know some black women ain't gonna like that shit, but I don't give a fuck. Her funky ass is out of pocket.
Fuck that.
You from the show me state? Show me that you ain't a coon on this shit.
Let's go. Come on. Freedman fire.
Birthing. There's only one people that birth, and that's women.
Facts. And that's a woman. That's a woman. Gender, sex, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That is a woman. You want to tell me birthing people, and then you're going to be out there fighting for abortion rights. Shut the hell up. Get the hell out of here.
That's the next sentence. When we talk about birthing people, we're talking about being inclusive. It's that simple. The pro-abortion rights group Naral tweeted in her defense. Others, however, see this kind of language as exclusionary because it erases women and mothers as worthy categories of identity. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah, it does.
You know how hard it is for a woman to actually conceive a child, let alone carry it out for a full-term pregnancy? That is some shit. It's easier. Hey, it's easier for a woman to do that. It's easier for a woman to do that than what? Because I'm talking about conceiving and carrying for 9 months.
And how can a trans woman relate to that? They can't.
Can't.
How can a trans woman relate to that? They never will. They cannot. So you can't say that you're the same. If you want to identify as a woman, okay, that's fine. That's your right. You can identify as a woman, but you cannot relate to and I hate talk about this stuff. I know I'm grown, but a woman's monthly cycle. You cannot relate to that. You cannot relate to how a woman would feel because you're not a woman.
Right.
You cannot relate to the loss of a child while after being pregnant. There's some things that are exclusive to women and women only, and we need to protect that. I don't give a fuck. As a freedman, as a black man, that's what I do.
So,
you know, we protect femininity, and we most definitely protect masculinity, and we enforce it. Fuck the bullshit, and I'm proud of that.
So I'm gonna leave this alone after I read this because this is the lunacy. This is the lunacy.
Come on, talk to us. What happened?
It's important to shift our language around gender and pregnancy. This is some lady named Emma Green asking this question. Louise Melling asked, first of all, if we're talking about pregnant people, that language says to people, to transgender men and to non-binary people, we see you.
What?
Look, man, I'm reading this and then I'll be done.
Who is this? Is this Cori Bush? No,
this is Emma Green and Louise Melling. I don't know who either one of these bitches are. I don't even give a fuck. I'm just telling you, this is what I'm going to read. I'm going to be done with it because this is where the lunacy starts. I have nothing against lesbians. I have nothing against homosexuals. I have nothing against gay people. But this is where you start to paint pictures that you really can't come through with when you're talking with children. And I know that they're perpetuating this to children.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start and I'm going to read the paragraph, and it's just
sick.
Why do you believe?
Insidious.
I'm sorry?
I said it's sick and it's insidious. I'm listening.
It is. So why do you believe it's important to shift our language around gender and pregnancy? First of all, if we're talking about pregnant people, that language says to people, transgender men and to non-binary people, we see you. It should do a fair amount of work to help address discrimination, which is bullshit because you're not discriminated against if you cannot have a child. If you can have a child, but people don't want you to have a child, that's different. But you physically cannot have a child, so you cannot be discriminated against. If I ain't got no fucking legs, I'm not being discriminated against if they tell me that I can't run the 100-yard dash. If I sign up to run the 100-yard dash at the track meet and I show up with no fucking legs, they're going to say, hey, buddy, we've got some qualifications here that you don't.
Right. If I don't have no legs and I can't hop the train tonight, like, come on, man. Where are we going?
You want to hop on this subway? Then you got to be able to hop this turnstile. You
exactly.
Can't walk up, you can't crawl under the bitch. You got to hop over the turnstile.
I got to crawl under. I got to crawl under it. I can't hop it.
No, because you no-leg motherfuckers always hit your head on the turnstile and get concussions, and then we got a fucking scene here. So they want you hopping over the bitch. They don't want you trying to crawl under the motherfucker like the head detective, get a concussion. Now you're laid out, and the fucking transit authorities got to stop to bring in the ambulance for the no-leg man.
And they don't have to really run fast to catch you.
Right.
They don't have to run fast to catch. And you know these cops is out of shape. These niggas is out of shape.
Dude, I said Cops
They not
make
catching no black person. They not catching them. They not catching no black
that's
person with
why they shoot
legs.
us.
They not
Cops
catching
are
no
so
black person with
violent.
legs.
That's why
No,
they shoot us. They're not running after us.
exactly. They either shoot us or beat us the hell up.
Right. And they beat us because we made them run after us. They tired of shit.
Exactly. When they catch you, they will give you that work.
Dog.
And they tell you, look, you made me chase you. While they're beating your ass and give you the Rodney King treatment, they will tell you, you made me chase you. Oh, hell no. Boom, 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 boom. They going in.
You make a cop bust that 10-yard dash, you getting tased.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If we talk about pregnant people, it's a reminder to all of us to catch ourselves when we're sitting in the waiting room at the GYN, that we're not going to stare at the man who's there. What the fuck is the man doing there?
I don't know. I don't know.
He can't have a baby.
Right.
So why is he there?
Lil Nas X is not at the OBGYN.
You notice how
He's
they
never
take out
been there, even though they got pictures of him pretending to be pregnant. He's never been there. That is a lie. Men cannot get pregnant, and they do not push babies and little kids out of their dicks. Sorry. It's not. It's not what it is.
So, if you notice what I said, they said GYN. You notice they took the O out of the OBGYN.
Really? Why?
It just says gynecologist, because there are gynecologists who are seeing men. Men who ain't gonna have shit. They ain't got fallopian tubes. They ain't got a cervix. They ain't got a placenta. Nothing. What are you doing in there?
I was unaware of this.
Because you got to understand what obstetrics means. And you know I'm about the words, so I'm about to tell you.
Okay, let's go.
The branch of medicine and surgery concerned with childbirth. See, obstetrics is only fucking concerned about childbirth. It's not concerned about transgender and the woman giving birth.
Wow.
It's not concerned about the trans man. But
well, they're excluded by that definition. They were excluded by that definition. So they already confirmed it, yeah? They already confirmed it.
Confirm what?
By taking out the OB part or the O part.
Yeah.
They're confirming that they're not women. By their own admission. White supremacy's own admission. If you got to take out the O to validate trans, then you're confirming. You just confirmed it.
So basically, me and you can go to the gynecologist now.
I will never be there. I'm never going. I don't even like talk about this stuff.
Man, you better set your gynecology appointment up.
Never. And if they don't put the O in it, I'm challenging their certification. If they don't put the O and the B in it, I'm challenging them, and I don't respect their certification. How about that? I
mean, they've literally got it to the point where they can go to a gynecologist and be seen.
What the hell? What would a man be doing there? What are you there for? What are you there for? What would a trans woman be there for? So what's the O? The O is for childbirth. Don't know what the B. Like, this is all like nasty stuff to me. I'm a weird guy. I don't like this type of stuff, like cycles and periods and stuff like that. But I respect femininity, and I know it's necessary. And not only do I love my black women, my freedmen women, I like them. So at the same time, what the hell would a trans woman be doing at an OBGYN? I don't understand. I don't understand.
The OB, bro.
Huh?
They're not going there for the OB. They're going for the gynecology.
Which is what, to investigate their dick?
Well, or the severing of that and new vaginal canal and all that.
New vaginal? Where are we going? New vaginal canal? When did
Hey,
they get that? When did
Hey,
they
look.
get that?
Didn't they say that Bruce Jenner, didn't they say he got chopped?
I don't know. I don't
He
know.
goes to a gynecologist now.
But isn't that surgery though? No? Is that surgery?
Yeah, when you get your
Did they
shit
cut
chopped
off? Or does the GYN or the OBGYN, let me not get caught up in the bullshit. Does the OBGYN cut that off? Or I thought that was
No,
surgery.
no, plastic surgeon, they've got surgeons to do sex changes. The GYN
Right.
is your female doctor. You no longer
But
go
they're
to
not
the
a female.
huh?
But they're not females.
They are now.
No, they're not.
If they get chopped off and they now got an innie and not an outie.
Yo, this guy's on the Freeman bullshit. Yo, listen. You getting your tool chopped off does not make you a woman. I'm sorry, or a
Good God.
female.
They get rid of the bat and balls. It's a whole new ball game.
Listen, man. The Franks and the Beans removal, it does not make you a female. I'm sorry. At least not a natural one, especially
The
a
bats and balls
biological
leave
one.
the field to
Because
play.
you still gotta what? XY chromosomes? Are you changing your DNA and chromosomes as well?
They're taking all that shit where like they take shit where it dissolves the Adam's apple.
Wow, they can do that?
You know that's what makes your voice deep, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, your Adam's apple, like, you ever seen a motherfucker with a real big Adam's apple and see how deep his voice is?
Yeah.
So when you're a female, you don't want a big Adam's apple. You want to get that shit taken out because that raises your
So there's a surgery that takes it out? Are you serious?
There's medication that you can get to dissolve that shit.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I think there is something radical you can do to have it removed, but I think it creates a scar too. So most people take whatever the shit is that makes that go away. It dissolves. Dude, I can show you pictures of someone that I know personally that was a full-grown man, and I knew him as a young boy to a man, and he's now a female, and yeah.
Identify. We're gonna play that game. He is now a female identifier.
Well,
He's not a female.
I don't know the proper term. I don't know the proper term. I just know that he's not a him anymore.
He doesn't identify as a him.
No, he ain't got none of the package no more. He got boobs and everything.
I mean, that's still a man.
I get your feeling and all that.
It's not my feelings. This is objective reality. This is objective facts. This is science.
I'm just saying, through modern science, they turned him into a woman.
So getting your tool chopped off and creating some, what you call it,
a vaginal canal,
some fussy, it makes you a woman or a female now.
What did Shannon say? They're going to them for hormone. Oh, okay. So they helped them with their conversion.
Okay.
So a gynecologist is only for
female reproductive health. So they still in the wrong place. If it's for female reproductive, they're not females. They do not have ovaries for fallopian tubes and all. No, they're still in the wrong place. They do not qualify.
obstetrician is the doctor that deals with pregnancy.
Right. And trans women do not get pregnant. If you cut off their tool and create a bussy, whatever you want to call it, they do not get pregnant. Still, so what are you doing here? What does the doctor OBGYN tell a trans woman? Are they I have to imagine that conversation is very, very politically correct. Do they ask them, are you sitting or standing?
Well, I tell you what. Tell you what.
Yo, that's crazy.
Because Black people are some of the most empathetic people. I wonder why Black people haven't crossed over and talked to the LGBTQIAP people and just say, what did it take for you to do what you did? Because really all it is LGBT thinks about politics the way you should think about politics. They're going in to get the work done. They're not looking at Democrats, Republicans, or whatever. They're going to put their case up there and they're going to fight for who fights for them.
Right. Political, of course.
Can you get health benefits?
I'm guessing that they do.
Strokes you guys make about one type. No broad strokes. This isn't the topic that we were talking about tonight, and it's not broad strokes. We have very, very direct opinions about LGBTQIAP and their agenda. We know gay people and we fuck with gay people, but as far as broad strokes that you think we're painting towards, we don't dislike anybody because they are gay.
Or LGBT. And I always do this, not all LGBT. So Theo, you gotta pay attention.
Classifying
Step your game up. Step your game up, Theo.
They're all gay.
Right.
Why wouldn't I classify all gay people in a group as gay people?
Yeah. I guess Theo, he's possibly LGBT. Sounds
I'm
personal.
not sure exactly what it is. I don't even know how he got here because I don't even have LGBTQIAP in the fucking hashtag tonight. How'd you get it? And he must have looked up politics. Whenever there's politics, there's probably like 10% chance that people are going to be talking about gay people. And so we're here.
Right.
And we're only really here because Emmanuel asked that question. We probably wouldn't even said anything about LGBTQIAP tonight.
That's true. So we could get back on topic. Are you sitting or are you standing?
You don't even say it right. LGBTQIAP. Look, motherfucker. I said it the way it's read. You just don't use all the letters. I use all the letters. If y'all want to add some more, I'll memorize them too. I've seen the LGBTQIAP flag. Angie.
What's up, Angie?
I've seen the LGBTQIAP.
Yeah, he's a troll. He's a troll. Theo's a clown and a troll. You could get him out the chat.
Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad your mammy didn't swallow you. Get the fuck out of here.
Nobody mad at Theo for being LGBT.
What the
Who
fuck?
cares? Who cares?
Wrong cast tonight, bro. Wrong cast. You picked
Who
the
cares,
wrong
man? Who
cast
cares
tonight,
if you're gay? You're gay, Theo. So what?
So what?
And
so what?
And
Nobody
we
cares.
we laughing at him. We laughing at him, and we're mad.
Nobody cares that you're gay. Dawson's Creek. See you later, Dawson's Creek.
Oh, Dawson's Creek. Come on, man. Get out of here, man.
I love when motherfuckers come on here because they hear me talk.
Where's your rainbow profile flag? Where is Bruce? Where's Caitlyn Jenner? Where's Caitlyn Jenner in your profile?
You trolling two trolls, motherfucker.
Let's go, man.
Don't
get it.
Don't come over here.
Uh-oh. Somebody bringing that heat. Somebody bringing heat in the chat. Uh-oh. Who's that? Carlinda?
Carlinda's going for a PhD, bitch.
Uh-oh. Carlinda.
Classifying everyone. Bitch, I'm classified as a freedman. I don't classify anybody. Y'all classify yourselves. The LGBT has chosen to politicize their sexuality. We don't care if y'all gay. Just like y'all don't care about us being black.
Exactly.
Shit.
You want us to care. You want us to care. You want us to care about LGBT and all this other stuff. We freedmen first over here.
We black and we proud. You gay and you proud. Right. We not the same. It's okay.
We freedmen first. We black first. James Baldwin was freedman first. You should know about him. That's a part of your LGBT community. He's a part of your LGBT community. Yeah. He's a part of your LGBT community. Look him up. James Baldwin. He was freedman first.
Right.
Freedman first. Now he's lying. He said all gay people hate black people. It's time to ignore him now. It's either we get him out the chat. It's either we get him out the chat or we ignore him. Yeah. Now he's over here lying. That's cool.
What the fuck did I even say that? When have I ever said that?
Yeah, we never said it.
Nigga, I got gay people in my family. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. I ain't never just said all gay people hate black people.
He's trolling.
That's never even close.
He's trolling, Shanny. He's trolling. He's trolling. Hold on a second. All right. He's trolling.
I hate a bitch ass punk that comes on and tries to do dumb shit. You just putting stupid shit in the chat.
Let's go, Carlinda. Get him. It's not the same because being black and being gay is not the same thing. Being black and being gay is not the same. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can we get him out of here? Like, get him out of here, man. He's a troll. And he's failing. He's failing.
I don't even know how to block motherfucker. I really don't know how to block him.
This man is in the closet.
She's got moderator capabilities. She can block him. I don't even know how to block people.
Yeah. This man is in the closet. He's proclaiming not to be gay, but I think that he's a part of the LGBT community, and if he is, that's his business. Who cares? We here to talk about, are you sitting or standing? We here to talk about how other people is getting our reparations claim as far as the direct cash payments portion of the reparations claim. $450,000. This is a discussion. How is this even a discussion and taken as a priority over the Freedman justice claim for reparations? You understand? And we need to let these people know. Let these clown ass Negroes like Theo Dawson Creek know that we not on here just talking. We out here in the streets. We're applying this knowledge to our everyday life. You understand? The homie Shannon is a captain of industry. He's a freedman boss. I'm an activist because I'm activated and I'm an organizer. I'm beyond woke. We are beyond woke. We have the freedman consciousness. And we out here putting in the work in the streets. We're organizing, we're creating groundswells to implement our strategy and plan to get the proper political representation of the freedmen. The Freedmen Collective. We are here to uplift the group and the collective of freedmen. Okra, Coon-Free do not count. Okra, Coon-Free, and Michael Jordan, they are not a representation of the masses of the freedmen. They are the exception to the rule, and the exception to the rule is not a representation of the majority of freedmen. Okay? You still there?
I'm here.
The Ann Arbor barber.
I'm just listening. I'm listening because at this point, I've gotten so far away from that type of shit that I know that it's just purposeful shit for people to come in and do shit like that to distract, to you know, to knock off course what you're saying.
Right.
And here, if gay people, because I think a lot of times, a lot of gay people hate America.
Okay.
I think they're more for gay rights than they are for their American civil rights.
Okay.
Just like we've talked about this before, and we'll conclude on the LGBTQIAP conversation. But when you see people that say they're a gay black man,
right,
you put your sexuality before you put your ethnicity, you've lost.
Right.
You lost. Because before you knew you were gay, you were black.
Right. White LGBT is doing just fine.
They're doing just fine without you. They don't have to announce that they're white and gay.
The white LGBT is doing just fine. Just like Dave Chappelle said, that a homosexual white man was very quick to call the police. He was able to access that whiteness really quick. The minority became the dominant society real quick. But can you do that, black man? Can you do that, black woman? Can you detach from being LGBT and access blackness to protect yourself from white supremacy? No, you cannot.
And then what you do as a black man or black woman who's gay, that's the first thing they got to prop you up as.
Facts.
I mean, all the credentials that is that Kamala's chief of staff, all the credentials that she supposedly has, which she doesn't have that many, she ain't even that old. The main thing they wanted to prop out was that she was gay.
Right. Right.
I mean, we
not
knew
even the policies.
Yeah.
She's just gay.
And was she really even banging for gay people during all the political process? She was a part of Obama's administration. He brought her out, talked about her being gay. But was she really gay? I mean, was she really down with the LGBT? I never seen her like in no protests and all that stuff for LGBT.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
But they're so quick to elevate her,
right,
and talk about her sexuality. But where was she when?
I'll be right back.
People get murdered out here by race soldiers. How come she's not stepping up for that? You got whack ass preachers out here having sex with trans sex workers and they kill them. How come she don't step up for that? Even BLM. But you notice how BLM don't step up when some crazy ass preacher kills a sex worker, a black trans sex worker. They don't step up. Where's BLM? They all about the trans shit, but where are they at then? So I don't want to hear nothing about all this affiliation shit. Yeah, you saying I paint with a broad stroke, I paint with a broad stroke, bitch. Because I know the LGBT is racist against black folks, gay or not. They want to depict us in a certain way, like when you see your HIV medication now, who is always the person in them commercials? Black people. Black people. They got the one guy that he's working in an office. He looks like maybe like a architectural firm or some shit. And he's working in the office. And it's all about medicine to help him with his HIV. And I'm thinking that the white guy is the gay person. No, it flashes to the black guy. And how his life is so normal, this, that, and the other. That's brought on by Joe Biden and his administration or his people when he was touring, talking about, you know how many people I talked to about, and black men I talked to about wearing a condom? Like Joe Biden had some real serious conversations with black men about wearing condoms. It's cool to wear a condom. Man, fuck you. I wish Mrs. Biden would have wore a condom when she fucked your daddy.
Whoa, what happened now?
No, I'm just talking about different things that when they bring up about, because, you know, he said I was painting broad strokes. So I wanted to paint the broadest stroke of about how, like when they show those commercials, like about HIV medication and shit, it's always the black guy.
Right.
We're always the poster child to some detrimental fucking situation.
Right.
From high blood pressure, diabetes, any of that shit. Now it's HIV medication. It's always the black guy.
Right.
And then they make him kind of hip. You know, they give him some locks. You know, he's got the hip clothes on and everything.
The cultured black guy, yeah.
And they're like, you know, just by the sight of him, you wouldn't know he has HIV. Like, whoa, where'd that come from?
I guess, yeah. It's pretty wild, man. Propaganda at its finest.
I mean, there's an agenda. There's a serious agenda. And that's when they don't want to admit that there is an actual agenda, then why does one have to be in every single TV show, every single movie?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're trying to bring it over to the animation stage. That's kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do we discuss homosexuality with cartoons?
Right.
It's already make-believe. And
right.
It's make-believe by animation, but you still got to throw in sexuality to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crazy
That's
shit.
what it's about. It's about the LGBT agenda, which there is one, whether the people want to admit it or not. They have showed their hands.
That's that because we know the realness of it.
Yeah.
But you get somebody who pipes in and says and spews out his bullshit, because that's what he probably does. He probably goes around to different casts and like I said, I don't even know how he got in here because I didn't even put them in the hashtag tonight. And we generally don't even get that type of troll. It is late. I do get it. Freaks come out at night type shit. I don't know.
Right. LGBT, they come out at night.
Yeah.
And they go right to Central Park.
I'm just like, dude, what's going on here? Why would you need to be where we are with this shit? And are you here to talk? If he is black, if Theo Dawson is black, are you here to talk some Friedman shit?
Apparently not.
If you're not black, where do you stand on reparations? Where do you stand on illegal motherfuckers getting $450 a man?
Right.
We can find out on some shit, but see, Theo came in here on some bullshit.
Right.
Is he
an immigrant? Are you an immigrant, Theo? Like, these are what the questions that we gotta ask. You know what I'm saying?
Were they triggered? Did we trigger Theo?
Possibly.
We must have
but motherfuck Theo, because Theo's a cornball and he's a loser. Possibly LGBT down low. guy, possibly. If he is, who cares?
We didn't
And
care.
I'm all about this Friedman media. I'm all about this Friedman message. That's what we should be about. We
Check it out.
about the
Check it
Friedman,
out. Frida's
right? We
gonna
about the Friedman media, the Friedman message, the Friedman collective,
let
the
go.
Friedman
No
consciousness.
no more breaths. No more breaths on him. He has
Yeah,
no pulse. Appears
the
to be new on
Friedman
that.
legacy,
Listen,
the
listen,
Friedman
listen,
legacy.
listen, listen. He's somebody who knows us. Somebody's trolling. Frida already looked
Okay.
him up. He has no post. Appears to be new on Haps. So he made a Haps account just to come in here.
Ah,
Let it go. Let it go. We're off of it.
yeah, I'm talking about Friedman.
So it's probably somebody we know trying to trigger. I mean, who would take the time to make a Haps account to come in and just talk about that bullshit? Some whack shit. So leave it alone.
I'm all about
Thanks,
Friedman,
Free.
man.
Appreciate you, Free.
Thank you, Frida. Of course,
So
we thank Shanna Kim. She always bring the information as well.
yeah.
Everybody in the chat, we appreciate y'all. Thank you.
It's so crazy that we have to be distracted
Even
by that
Carlinda,
type
she
of
was
stuff.
bringing that heat too.
Who's that?
I said even Carlinda, she was bringing that heat.
Carlinda's got a story. She's got a story. I did
I
a
could
cast
believe
with
it.
her and talked with her about her son. Her son was raised in Montana. He's biracial, and he is discriminated against by his black family.
Jeez.
He's got a story to tell.
Okay.
And we had a great discussion. And I think one day we need to finish that discussion because Carlinda's, I think she's about to get her PhD, and
Okay.
we've talked about how he's coming up as a man, but his distractions are actually by Friedman family.
Okay. We gotta acknowledge that aspect too. Because it's a lot of Friedman coons. A lot of Friedman coonery. Cooning is generational. So most likely,
It's generational.
your parents were coons. And they passed down the coonery and buffoonery to you.
Yeah.
Or maybe you got caught up in the system of white supremacy and you didn't have the proper guidance and the proper elevation of consciousness to circumvent you from the bullshit of the coonery, which made you or influenced you to hate yourself and to hate your culture and to hate your contributions, your great legendary contributions that you have done, you and your ancestors have done.
Bro, this must be troll hour. I can't deal with this shit. I just looked at that comment. I'm done. What the fuck?
Okay.
Oh man, sorry, Groot Love. Sorry,
most likely the same person.
Possibly.
Most likely the same person.
Disappeared.
Yeah. I guess that just means that we popping then.
We starting to get trolls and shit on a regular.
And this person has no life. So they want to attach themselves to this Friedman media life. Let's go, Frida. Get him out of here. Frida on deck. How about
Frida's
that? We say Friedman on deck. Frida on deck. Frida on deck. Let's go.
I just
put that wrench in that monkey ass and got him the fuck up out of here.
And he might have actually been harmless, but to come in, if that's your first comment, at least say hello, motherfucker.
Right.
We don't really need to hear.
At least pretend. Pretend.
Right.
You know what I mean? To pretend to want to talk about Friedman shit, Friedman issues. At least answer the question, are you sitting or standing?
Frida, I think I kind of know who might be doing this. I think you know who's kind of behind this shit too, because who does that? We ain't never had that type of shit. You know, somebody's looking for some attention because he can't get on. I don't think he's on Haps anymore, so he's probably just creating bogus ass accounts or whatever. Fuck you.
But
You
yeah,
know.
I'm gonna have to get off soon because I gotta get up early.
Yeah, I'm about to bounce, man. We've been in 2.5 hours. We talked a lot, you know. I mean, I'm happy that it's this late and I stayed away.
I know, right? You know, I thought I saw you dozing off, Joe. I thought I saw you dozing off.
Not
But
tonight.
nah, you
Not
was looking
tonight.
at your phone or something. You was just
Yeah, I
looking
was
at
looking
your
at
phone.
my phone. It was no, not tonight.
Yeah.
It was so funny because it's never funny that I actually doze off, but doing these this late, one of the main reasons I'm trying to explain this to people, I would love to see us get a media lane to where we all know when we're going to be casting.
That would be nice.
I can be very flexible within mine, but when like BTP is casting, I want to watch BTP live. I don't mind watching.
Hell yeah. I love watching them live. Love watching them live.
Cast why they cast.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, there's other casts that I don't know when the exact times that they come on. I prefer, whether I be in the chat or not, I prefer to see a live chat and the live commentary versus seeing a replay. Because even though I may have not jumped in the chat when it was live, I prefer to see it when it's actually happening. It just seems,
yeah,
you know.
Same. I get mad when I miss them going live. Like I get mad. I definitely prefer to watch them live. Yeah.
I think we need to start to align, and this is where, like I said, and they're talking about it. You may not call yourself Freedman. You may not bring yourself to do that, but if you are aligned with the movement, it really doesn't matter what you call yourself. But you've got to be aligned with the movement.
Yeah.
Some people are having a hard time walking away from African American, but once African American was made sense to me of what it was, I couldn't call myself African American anymore.
Yeah. It is what it is. Like, yeah.
I don't feel bad about myself that.
Yeah. You shouldn't. This is who we are. This is who we are. We should not feel bad about who we are.
I get it. I get it why people are upset that people don't call themselves African American, but God damn it, I ain't
too vague. Talk about broadening strokes. That's too vague. That's too broad.
See, that's the other thing. Yeah. Like Dawson's Creek said, broad
strokes. Yeah.
African American.
Right. Obama would be considered African American.
There you go. That's an African American right there for your ass.
Kamala Harris, African American. Like, come on. We got to be specific. But they are not freedmen. And I said this on the BTP platform. Freedmen is so specific and exclusive, and it puts up those political barriers so much so that Asians can't attach themselves to it. Minorities cannot attach, LGBT cannot attach themselves to it. People of color cannot attach themselves to it. Native Americans, you cannot attach them. You can't. The American freedman is specific. It's exclusive. It encompasses our contributions to the foundational wealth here in America. It automatically lets you know we're talking about the chattel slave history here in America.
Right.
This is our identity. This is us. Everybody else has an identity. They have a political identity. They have that political status. This is ours. So we claim our freedman name. The game is still the same, and politics is most definitely a dirty game.
Right. It is.
And I'm not even a rapper, and I just spit some fire, freedman fire right there. Reclaim the freedman name. Politics is still the same, and politics is a motherfucking dirty ass game, family. We got to know the game if we want to win. Yeah. And be like me. I'm a gamer. I play to win. We coming for that power. That freedman power. That
I believe
ancestral power. What?
I believe that's where the resistance has come in at, and we're too deep into all this to start it, but this is where I start to lay the groundwork to the discussions that I want to have. Are you sitting or are you standing? Because I'm not going to deal with people in the chat that aren't standing. I have people that sit and they may get up in the middle of the fucking cast. They may sit and sit quietly and never come back again. I only want to talk to people that are standing.
Okay.
And if you're
I respect that.
confused as to whether you need to be sitting or standing, just listen to the cast and it'll tell you what you either are or what you aren't or what you should aspire to be. Because if you are politically inclined, you cannot be emotional and you can't be all up in here in your goddamn feelings. Because I'm going to invite gay people on. I'm going to invite trans people on, all that shit. Where do you stand politically, motherfucker? That's going to be my question. In the political process, where do you stand? Are you on this shit? Are you trying to affect kids in the educational system? I'm not going to ask the easy question like, what's it like being a trans? No. I already know it's difficult, goddammit. It's difficult being a trans motherfucker.
Right.
It's difficult being a black motherfucker. But I'm not going to sit up here every day and tell you how difficult it is to be black. Just like I don't expect a trans person to sit there and tell me how difficult it is to be trans. I need to know where they stand.
That's right. That's right.
You got a difficult path. I got a difficult path. That might be our only commonality, that we both have difficult paths. They are not the same path. They are not one and the same. We are not equals. The only way that you can consider yourself on the same level as me is you be a gay freedman. And if that's the way you list yourself, as a gay freedman, we still got a lot to talk about. Now, if you say I'm who's a homosexual, now you can sit down at the table.
Right. If you are a freedman who just so happens to be gay, maybe we can build.
Have a seat.
Maybe we can build. So let's get to building. If you are a freedman who just so happens to be gay.
Now, if you come in here as a gay freedman, you're going over and sit over there. We don't have anything for you.
Right. We got allies or friends who just so happen to be gay.
Yeah.
It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. You like what you like, you know.
Right.
That's your business.
Nobody's condemning you for liking what you like, but what you won't do is minimize our movement as freedmen.
Right. And we have friends who just so happen to be immigrants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them support, they understand the reparations claim, and they don't want no parts of our reparations claim because they are men and women of integrity.
Right.
Men and women of justice, and they support our justice claim, and they respect us because they know that it was our civil rights work that allowed them to come over here and benefit off of the system here in America. So why wouldn't they want to help us? Why wouldn't they want to help us? As they should. See what I'm saying? That's intelligence. That's integrity. Intensity. And their support for justice. You can't say you support justice and not be a reparationist. Yo, that's all I got. Freedman Media on deck. Freedman Media on motherfucking deck. Freedman Media. This is what we do. This is what we do.
Tomorrow. We need
this
to
is
build
what we motherfucking do.
On codes. We got to be talking in codes. If we are not staying on the same plane, because we know people they're not gonna leave African American. Hell, there's some people that haven't left Negro. There's other people that ain't left colored. But we don't care about what somebody is calling themselves. Some people ain't left the hashtags.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But goddamn it, I don't give a fuck what you're calling yourself. Are you for this mission through and through? Can we put all
Right.
the goddamn titles aside and have one band, one sound?
I love that movie. Drumline.
There's a lot of messages in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Lot of messages about discipline,
He was. Yeah.
cohesiveness, teamwork,
Yeah. Yep.
narcissism,
Oh yeah.
arrogance, humble,
Confidence.
confidence.
Mm-hmm.
We have all of that going on. We've just got to figure out a way to align it all, because I can't say as a freedman I'm better than ADOS. I may know different than they know. They may know all about freedman status and still just say ADOS. Like I said,
ADOS.
it's hard to get people to go away from. People were in love with ADOS. It was a gift to us to have that. But
Right.
but when you get to fighting over whether it be the hashtag or no hashtag, or you can say it and you can't say it, nah, man, that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We shouldn't have to fight over whether we can use it, not use it, pay a toll for it. Come on, man. But freedman status, to be a legitimate freedman by political stature, they can't take that away from you. There's no negotiating that.
Absolutely not.
You can't 501c4 me out of freedman status.
Mm-hmm.
And they're lost if they don't think that there's more shit in Washington, D.C. with the name and terms freedmen on it than there ever will be of American descendants of slavery. Hell, we didn't even know the phraseology that way until they started talking about what Dr. King said.
Mm-hmm.
And they just remixed it. And instead of him saying American descendants of slaves, they said slavery. They slicked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And they was good. They was good with me until they pulled the whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
Once they pulled the whole shit, there's no going back. Because you did that against people that you had already saluted, lauded, used information from,
Yeah.
not make them an enemy.
Right.
So no,
Nonsense.
we can't rock with you no more. All right, here comes this guy.
Nonsense.
I'm sitting in this goddamn mall parking lot, and here come the goddamn street cleaner. He flashes lights on me because he sees my light in my truck. I'm up against the curb. That's why he starts at the curb. Let me go on and get up out of here and let this motherfucker do his job.
Let's do it.
He don't usually be in
Freeman
here
Media.
3 o'clock.
Freeman Media. Peace.
Peace. Fucking